right away, couldn't even get a vine in. Straight with the money we aligned in. Tell me how they broke, tryna chime in. Jesus watching over here in diamonds. He the only reason why I do not get violent. Hey, cause he gave me patience.
Okay, Coach, they indeed love their football here in upstate New York as you look inside of New Era Field in Orchard Park. A few moments ago, to the delight of this Buffalo crowd, it was the Bills racing out of the tunnel as they get set to match up with the New York Jets. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season, Week 17, is underway. This will be taken about the 12. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Let's go, defense. Here we go.
This is the third-round pick out of FAU, Devin Singletary. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Man, I got you. Man, go.
From the gun, Knight. Wilson's got it complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And where will this be spotted? The side judge says it went out just across midfield. Good starting position for the Jets as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey, watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Jump.
Now a run. This is Bilal Powell. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for 1st. Back to throw Darnold. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. Now this is fielded in the end zone. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Bills will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Throwing on 1st down. Knight. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. A run with Josh Adams, the Eagles' leading rusher as a rookie last year. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. 9 yards on the pickup there as he'll be left with 3rd and 1.
Set, ready? 18 Gator. 57. Watch QB drop. Watch QB drop. 5.
They'll try and run for this with Singletary. And he will have the first down as he's up to his 17-yard line. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
First down. Ready up. First 57 at the 17-yard line. 2 times, 2 times. 4 down. Alert. Say it. X3. 218. Chop it. You got tight. You got tight right there. Shoot.
On first down, they stick with Singletary. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
On first down, this is Adams. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
They run on 2nd down with Adams. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. So that one will get him halfway to the first down marker. 7 yards makes it 3rd and 7 now.
Let's go now. 60 Pittsburgh. Let's go, team. Let's go. Get ready.
Operating from the gun. Knight eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. From the gun, Knight buying time to his left. That's going to be caught. That one goes for 30 yards. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go Band of Brothers thought process. No one left behind, no pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll go to Adams, try to pound it in. And he pushes forward, but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
They'll look to run with Singletary. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
Brings up 4th and goal.
And this has no chance. It's no good. Well wide to the left, and this will remain a scoreless game. So we would have figured that one to be 3 points in the bank, but this game, you know, can be unpredictable at times.
Yeah, he knew he needed to pull it ever so slightly to get it going in the right direction, but he seemed to put a little too much on it, and from short range, that is a bad miss for an NFL kicker.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And he is going to score. It's a pick 6 and a Bills touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went in the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. 6-0 our score after one. The Jets with the football here to start the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Mike, 54's Mike. Check, watch 54, watch 54. Let's go, D, tighten up. Let's go, D, tighten up.
Now a 1st down carry by Bell. And he'll work this one out to about the 38. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Bell, of course, 3-time 1,000-yard rusher. Sat out 2018, but you look back to 2017, a tick under 1,300 yards and almost 700 more receiving. On 2nd down, it's Bell. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike.
They'll try and run for it with Bell. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
54. I'm going back to you. I'm going back to you. Pilot, 64, wait. Sponge.
They'll go for it with Bell. Going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or 2. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Bills are going to take over in excellent field position.
Ready? Mike. Hey, Charlie. It's our field. It's our field. Hey, it's our house. Please grip.
On 1st and 10, Knight. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Terrell Basham. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. 2nd and long. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On 1st down, Knight. Flush to his right, and he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. Got out of the pocket, didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it, live to fight another down.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he fires one incomplete. His intended receiver, the tight end, Caleb Wilson. And it'll bring up third down. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third. And his kick is good. And that will make our score 9-0. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held him to 3, but this offense has got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Hey, one set. Check right, 54.
From the 39, Darnold. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
Throwing to start the drive. Knight. And that's going to be intercepted. Jamal Adams with it, the all-pro safety. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's stuff.
Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down.
And that's their first sack of this game. But how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Darnold off the play fake to Bell. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
Darnold and the Jets come up 3rd and long following the sack.
Hey, box drop.
3rd and long, it's Darnold. Got a man, it's Brown. A crazy sequence here, a huge gain that time, but it still leaves them well short for 4th down.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
You draw quarters.
They'll begin here with Adams. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Back to throw. Knight. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
After the interception, here's Darnold going up top. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Play action. It's Darnold rolling to his right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. The Jets on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. Faking the give. Darnold. They'll roll him out right. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. Here's Lachlan Edwards now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it.
I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game because you can. It's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they?
Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It's a gain of 35. Looking to throw. Knight. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Robert Foster, the intended receiver. And now it's second down. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Back to throw. Knight. And this is going to be intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December, right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating a certain amount.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
80 weapons. Alpha.
Here's Darnold. On the catch, it's Crowder. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. The Jets on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. To throw is Darnold. Blitz coming, and down he goes. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 30. And this one will be brought back to the 22. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Sets him up nicely. First and goal. It was a pickup of 14. Operating from the gun. Knight. And that's going to be intercepted. Jamal Adams with it, the all-pro safety. And a short return to the 6-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. On 2nd down and 4, Darnold. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll try the right side with Bell. And they're going to get the first down here across the 15-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. Room here to run. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one good for 33 and a first. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down. Darnold now to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And that will be incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And no move to get the offense off the field. Despite failing once, they're going to go again here on 4th down. They'll run it with Bell. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. Adam Gase rolls the dice. It doesn't pan out. And the Bills are going to get the football back. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to fire this. And my goodness, another interception. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Here's Darnold. And they take him down. The Bills get to him.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. He was trying for his running back, Bilal Powell. But now it'll be third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Darnold flushed out right. Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on to punt for New York. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Elsewhere at Arrowhead there in the third quarter. The Chiefs continue to add on. They're really rolling. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. So good field position for the Bills as they come up 1st and 10. They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. They go right back to Singletary. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Looking to throw. Knight. And finding the tight end Wilson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
Singletary again. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. Off-play action. Knight. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Caleb Wilson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Now the try here for the extra point. And he atones for his miss the first time around as this one is up and good to extend their lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today,
and his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 19. Should their woes on offense continue, that's the 2nd pick thrown here in the 3rd quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
Singletary to get the drive started. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. They'll keep it on the ground. Singletary. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. On third down, they go with Singletary. Now, he is not going to get the first down as they'll spot this at about the 28. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. Boston Scott, his first carry. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on fourth down. Throwing on first down. Knight. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. Despite the lead here in the fourth, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun.
218, chopper. Get ready.
Throwing again. Knight. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Back to throw. Knight. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Trumaine Johnson. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Darnold now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now Darnold. And now here is another. And he lost the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Marshall, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Now it's Darnold. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just talks about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Again, here's Adams. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They'll try and pick up the 1st down with Adams. And it's a fumble. And fortunately, the Bills jump on it and get it back.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free. but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. They'll keep it on the ground. Singletary. Space to run past the 20. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. Give them 14 on that one and a first down. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. A carry for Adams. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, break it the football. Get it out. We got creative.
And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Caleb Wilson, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Bills will add on to their lead. They had the lead in the 4th, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
He's not going to get me.
2nd and 10. And now here is another interception. Tre'Davious White with a pick. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Jamal Adams coming up from his safety spot to make the play. 2nd and 6. He'll buy some time right. And that'll be incomplete. He was looking for Devin Singletary there, but now it's 3rd down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. I'm coming. Hey, watch Sam. Watch Sam. Check. Ready?
On 3rd down, Knight. The quick slant caught. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided.
57 to Mike. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. 57 to Mike. 57.
From the gun, Knight. That's caught by Brown for a Bills touchdown. John Brown, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bills use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
The Jets take over 1st and 10.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge.
That's caught at the 25. Big yardage that time for the Jets. 56 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. They'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. They were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
1st and 10 at the 20.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to fire one, corner of the end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. Time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Buffalo, the win means they'll finish in double digits at 10-6. And that is maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but a better-than-average season nonetheless. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they'll limp to the finish line with a final record of 5-11. And this is a team that has a few good